Theoretically, we're back to the normal schedule today of 4 p.m. non-league to legend, 7 p.m. home. However, I am deep in the depths of man flu and cold, so there's a chance there won't be a home out at 7. If it's not, just assume that one's going to be out at 4 o'clock tomorrow and the cold got worse. But best bet, keep an eye on the Twitter or, subscribe, turn the notifications on, then you'll know when the videos come out anyway, and everyone's a winner. Hello and welcome to Club 4, Part 11 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have a Manchester United double header, which I think could it potentially be a triple header? Actually, no. FA Cup quarterfinal. I don't think there's replays, does it? It will be a result. They're both at home, though. We're playing them in the league and in the FA Cup. Since you were last with me, this is what's been happening. We've been stuttering and nervous about playing Manchester United, I think, because we've not had a win in the league since the last episode. However, we've also only lost one of those games, so Mitrovic has learnt to score goals. I didn't even notice that he'd got 4 consecutive games where he'd scored a goal after we were all dissing him off the back of the transfer window. But Mitrovic has started scoring, Hall is still scoring, and fingers crossed we can keep that run going against Manchester United today. This is what the league table looks like. We are comfortable mid-table with 8 games to go. We've already hit the 40-point target. We are safe. I am happy to announce we are going to be safe. We are going to be in the Premier League next season. So I guess that kind of makes the FA Cup our top priority at this point, the first of the 2 matches against Manchester United. Because with Burnley, Man City are a difficult one, but with Burnley already through, we've got to think Burnley are beatable. Cardiff it's not going to be an easy competition to win, but let's try and win it anyway. And this is going to be the team that we put out there for the first of today's 2 games against Manchester United, the first one being in the FA Cup. We've got Kaltak in goal, a back 4 of Brian, Mawson, Duffy, Sessegnon, Tiny-O in behind Calderon and Pineda in midfield, Mitrovic up front, supported by Mirabella and Hall. Let's get into the match. Let's, again, like I think I said on the last video, if this feels a little bit jump cutty and a little bit all over the place, that's because I'm trying to edit out as much of the sniffs and coughs and sneezes as I possibly can. If I've missed any, I apologise now. But I am going to try and edit out as much of that stuff as possible. We are the underdogs, but let's do our thing, boys and girls, and we are underway. And before I get flooded with sympathy messages from people saying, Kev, don't worry, if you're poorly, just don't record for a few days. I don't feel ill at all. I feel absolutely fine. There's no reason why I shouldn't be working. I've just got what I'm describing to everybody as a bubbly chest, which is making me a little bit short of breath, a little bit wheezy, and I've got a bit of a blocked nose, runny nose, sneezing, coughing, that kind of thing. But I don't feel ill at all, so I don't feel like I need to have a break from videos. Don't worry, if I get to the point where either I'm feeling poorly or the sniffling is becoming too difficult to edit out, I will take a couple of days off. So bear in mind that might be on the agenda. But we just want a penalty. That looked like a very soft penalty. Hall didn't even look like he entered the penalty area yet. Mitrovic is looking the wrong way, and fingers crossed, tucks it into the back of the net. Anyway, that's 5 goals from 6 appearances for Mitrovic since the last video. Alexander Mitrovic is a new man. He's scoring goals for fun. Okay, that one was a penalty, but it would have been interesting to see a replay of how the penalty was won, actually, because I think it was very soft. Hall was kind of drifting around on the corner of the penalty area, but obviously just took a step in and got clattered. Calderon now with the corner. It finds Mirabella, and we're 2-0 up after 20 minutes. Vincenzo Mirabella, his 4th goal for us already. I wish we'd had a way to sign this lad permanently. I think it's going to be very unlikely because he has exploded onto the Premier League scene as a proper player. But imagine if we could bring him in permanently in the summer to go alongside Hall as our 2 flying wingers. As you lot have all told me down in the comments when I talked about retraining Hall to be a striker, let's not worry about what position they're playing. They're my front 3, and if the 2 wider ones of the front 3 are scoring goals for fun, does it really matter if the one in the middle isn't really scoring? And he is scoring at the moment. But as it's going at the moment, Hall and Mirabella are scoring between them at roughly a goal a game. So can't really argue with that. Hall plays it deep over towards Mirabella, who can't quite get there. And of course, we've got Al Showery knocking around as well. And we've still got Mitrovic as well. What a tackle that was. Was that Tiny-O with that tackle? I feel like I'm giving Tinyo too much credit. It couldn't have been him because he's leaving. It must have been somebody else. Let's say that was Duffy. Let's justify my £10 million spend in the summer and say that was Duffy making that tackle. And there's Ryan Sessegnon, by the way. People keep asking, Kev, where's Ryan Sessegnon? He's at Man United, apparently. Right, let's get into the team talk. That was just a very good... I don't know, I want to be passionate because it was brilliant. A brilliant first half. But... let's assertively say, look, you've got to keep your focus. I've stressed out my 2 wonder kid wingers. That probably wasn't the best thing to do. But then actually, on the flip side of that, they don't need to play well in this second half. We need the defenders to play well, and it's defenders who actually responded quite well to that team talk. So maybe it won't be a complete disaster. Oh, we're controlling possession as well against Manchester United, which is a lovely thing. Mitrovic back to Pineda. Pineda to Tinyo. Tinyo to Calderon, out wide to Brian, and we've got men in the middle. Brian with the cross finds Mitrovic, Mitrovic to Hall, and it's Fulham 3, Manchester United 0 on the hour mark in the FA Cup quarter-final. 12 goals now this season for Simon Hall. He doesn't need to be a striker. He's scoring enough goals from out on the wing. And our front three play very, very well together. How far can this front three take us? We've got to sign Mirabella and Pineda permanently. I think a lot of credit has to go to Pineda as well for the upturn in form since he came in, because he's a proper attacking force from midfield, which we didn't really have before. Right. I don't even know. Is there any reason to take any players off? There probably isn't. Let's just keep things going. It's my instinct on the 70th minute to pause the game and try and make some substitutions, but there's nobody particularly tired. Everybody's playing well. Let's just leave it well alone, shall we? Until someone drops below 70% conditioning. And at which point, there you go. We've got 2 players who can come off now in the 88th minute. Brian can come off and we'll bring on... Yeah, stick him out there. Who cares? They're not going to score 3 goals now, are they? Tinyo can come off as well to bring Cullen on. Shall we make it a triple? We can't really not bring on Al Shaarawy in this situation. A few people have said try him as the striker. Let's try him as the striker for the last 3 minutes. What's the worst that could happen? There's probably an argument, maybe go strikerless, but let's not mess with the front three because it's working so well at the moment. But we could potentially play Al Shaarawy a little bit deeper if Mitrovic falls out of form again. But that was just a very good performance. We're into the semi-final of the FA Cup, and if we can do that again against Manchester United in the league, Cardiff knocked out Chelsea as well. So the only big team left in it now are Man City. This is all of a sudden looking like not only a winnable FA Cup, but even if Manchester City do cause problems, it's a potential route into Europe for us, which is awesome. Right, before we play Manchester United in the league, we've got the FA Cup semi-final draw. So we are at Wembley. And obviously we want to avoid Manchester City. Burnley or Cardiff are fine. Cardiff, I think, are actually a championship team. So that would be the perfect team, because that then gives us a nice clear route through to a final, which, depending on who we face there, I'm getting very ahead of myself, could be a route into the Europa League, which would be smashing. So, Burnley would be fine. Man City, we've got the one we wanted. We're playing against Cardiff in the FA Cup semi-final. I don't know why Cardiff came out first and then we became the home team. That was a bit weird. But we should... I mean, that's going to be the next episode now. When is that? Schedule me. It's not on there yet, but we'll worry about that at the end of the episode. The important thing is we're playing Cardiff at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. That'll be tomorrow, and that's going to be awesome. Now let's go beat Manchester United in the league as well. No changes for the league game then, despite it being a couple of weeks later. Why would we change a team that just beat Manchester United 3-0? That would be crazy talk. Interestingly as well, we got a notification through in the media reports before the game. Look, they've come here and they're playing a flat back 9 against us. They're terrified. They've got Eden Hazard in their team. I didn't even notice that in the last game. Perhaps he didn't play in the last game. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Actually, the thing that just came up on there, we had a media report come through saying that we are a win away from mathematical safety. Although I've already announced we're going to be safe, we could mathematically do it. If we beat Manchester United again today, we are absolutely 100% safe. And that would be a very nice position to be in with 7 games to go and an FA Cup semi-final on the horizon. Oh, this is going to be a good end to the season. As long as I don't lose the ability to breathe through my nose so that I can't talk you through it. We might just do silent videos if we get to the point where I really can't do it, because I'm itching to play this season now. That's the problem, both with this and with the home save. I just want to be playing Football Manager. That's what I do when I'm not very well. I want to play Football Manager. These are the only 2 saves I've got on the go at the moment, so I might just have to do silent videos that I subtitle. Don't panic, I'm not actually going to do silent. I could do silent videos that I subtitle. We'll figure something out. I can't not play Football Manager if I'm going to be sat on the bed feeling sorry for myself, because it's just what I do. I have to. It's the rules. Right. We haven't had quite the lightning start that we had in the cup game. Presumably Man United are playing a stronger team in the league, although most of the players, they look like the same players. Kautak, I tell you what, we talked in the last match about how important it was to try and tie down the 2 new attacking loanees for next season. Kautak, as a goalkeeper, has made 2 world-class saves in this match already. He's another one who's only here on loan till the end of the season. Wowzers, what a difference he's made. We need to try and find a way to either extend that loan or sign him permanently. I don't know if we're going to have the money to sign all 3 of these new players permanently and still strengthen in other areas where we're going to need to strengthen. Mitrovic got himself in a lovely position and it's straight at their keeper. But, for example, Larsson's going to be leaving in the summer. Aubameyang's leaving. Mendy will be leaving. There's going to be, and I know these are all fringe players. Mitrovic has just been brought down in the area again. He's got another penalty and a chance to make it 6 from 7. He's a goal machine. Mitrovic, with the chance to put us 1-0 up, scores his 2nd penalty in a row against Manchester United. 35 minutes on the clock. Fulham 1, Manchester United 0. We're up to 8th in the league as it stands as well. I think it's too tall an order to find a way into the Europa League through the Premier League at this stage, especially because I'm probably going to do a little bit of rotation in the league, especially if we find our way through to the FA Cup final against Cardiff. There's like 6 Premier League games left after that between the semi-final and the final. So if we make it through to the final, 7-7 for Mitrovic. He's a Premier League striker all of a sudden. And that was a lovely finish as well. De Gea got ruined there by a ball over the top. Who's it from? It's from Pineda. This is what I mean. We need to be signing this lad permanently because it's a beauty of a pass. Mitrovic beats 2 men, gets there before De Gea, and it's Fulham 2, Manchester United 0. 5-0 on aggregate over the course of the episode. An episode aggregate. We're destroying Manchester United. I am very much enjoying myself. This is a happy, fun time. But yeah, if we're trying and sign these 3 loanees permanently, and we've got Tinio to replace as well, I don't know that we're going to have the money to be able to do it unless we're given an absolute ton of cash. Right, assertively, yeah, we don't want performance levels to drop. That hasn't upset anybody this time. They're used to me being a monster when they play well. This is good. Because, yeah, 3 permanent signings of the loanees, which would be the ideal scenario. That's going to be £50 million of a player, surely, for those 3. But then we're also going to need a new right back, a new defensive midfield player. We still kind of need a striker, unless Mitrovic is really trying to show me that we don't need a striker. But we've been at Fulham nearly a year and a half now, and this is the first time he's looked like a regular goal threat. So I think we probably do need another striker anyway. Although Freddie Power, we need to start having a proper look at, because Freddie Power might be someone that we start to use a little bit more, certainly in these last 6 or 7 games. United have a penalty now. Can Kautak save from Hazard? He can't. It's 2-1. United have finally found a way to get past Kautak in our goal. And I think realistically, for this summer, for us to really push on for next season and really push for a European qualification spot, which is doable if we get the money, but I think we need £100 million of transfer budget to do it, which probably means we need to qualify for the Europa League. Right, Al Sharawi can come on for Mirabella, and we're going to take off Calderon and bring on Cullen as well. Just freshen up some of these positions that these players have played a lot of football. I know we've had a 2-week gap since the last Manchester United game, but a lot of them have been away on international duty. We're very much a settled team now. And we do need to remember to just rotate some of these players back into the team who haven't really done anything to deserve being dropped, like Cullen, like Al Sharawi. Right, Sessegnon is not playing particularly well, but we don't have Larsson on the bench because he is finished. I think I might bring on Freddie Power for the last 10 minutes or so. I'm going to leave him as a complete forward. It says he can't do it. I'm pretty sure he can do it. We just need to teach him to do it. And the best way for him to learn is to play it a lot and probably start training him into doing it as well. But he can play as an advanced forward and he can play as a target man. If he can do both of those things, then he can play as a complete forward, surely. What other skills are there that you need as a complete forward? And a few other people have said it just seems to be a thing with Football Manager. Young strikers can't play complete forward. But then magically, overnight, at some point, he'll just be able to play complete forward all by himself. So I think if we play him there, we're more likely to have that magic happen. United have just hit the post now. And we're clinging on a little bit. I think it might be time for a shout. What should we shout? Should we shout, show some passion? We're frustrated. Sessegnon and Al Shaarawy there. They don't want passion. And United go just wide from the corner. And we are clinging on by the skin of our teeth at this point. A minute left. It's with Cullen in midfield. We just need to keep hold of the ball, which is what we're good at, but we didn't show it there. Pineda giving the ball away in midfield, and it's Lukaku down the right-hand side, crosses over to Hazard. He gets his second of the game. It's 2-2. We're not going to be mathematically safe today, but who cares? We're all but there, and we still shouldn't lose to Man United today. We have thrown it away a little bit, but then we have also rotated a little bit. We've brought Power in. We've brought Cullen in. Al Shaarawy. These are players who, because we know how good our first 11 is and how poor our backup players are, the hole hits the post right at the death. But we didn't make the changes in the cup game because we were afraid that this would happen. We kind of had to in this game because we've got the FA Cup semi-final next weekend. We've got Chelsea in the league before then. We need to start keeping our players a little bit fresher. I am going to give you were unlucky to lose it, to lose the goal so late. Obviously, we didn't lose the game, but we are a little bit unlucky. Down to 11th. We're all but safe. And on tomorrow's episode, we're going to do Cardiff in the FA Cup semi-final, then Huddersfield, and then hopefully we can finish the season off with Leicester and an FA Cup final on Wednesday, and that would be marvellous. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.